Good evening, gentlemen. It's Steady Eddie here. It's Friday night. It's 9 o'clock. It's the 2nd of June. Yes, we're now, technically probably in the summer. Nice and sunny outside, although it's not exactly blazing hot temperatures. Anyway, hope all's well with everybody. And if you're watching this on replay, hello, good evening, good night, Merry Christmas, and thanks for tuning in. Okay, smooth operator. Nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from you. Nicholas, nice to hear from you. AJ, good evening, Ed. Hope you're enjoying the lovely weather. Well, it's all right. Yeah, it's okay, but it actually felt a bit. It's not really exactly t-shirt weather. I mean, it looked gloriously sunny today, and I had to walk into town. But when I got out in there, I was wearing shorts and t-shirt. Even in the early June, you can be jumping the gun in this country. It's not exactly, it's not exactly, heat wave temperature, but it looks pretty good. Richard O, nice to hear from you. Brian Street, nice to hear from you, mate. Hope everything's going steady, Eddie. Okay, thank you for that, mate. Richard O, how much the late night chicken meal? Oh, well, that went down well the other night. Me and my friend, we had a roast chicken dinner, and it went down really well. I haven't cooked too many of them because what it is, you see, I had some weeks back. I had a bad experience with co-op chickens, and I bought a co-op chicken. It was a couple of days within its sell-by date, but no, it was a bit iffy really, so I didn't buy another one. But anyway, the one the other night was good. Anyway. Crypto Chris Card, nice to hear from you. Yoz Travels, nice to hear from you, Yoz. Yoz is enjoying the sun and in his nice garden in Liverpool. Good for him anyway. Good for you, mate. Cats and Good Coffee, nice to hear from you. Harry Holt, good evening, Ed. Great weather today. How was all this evening? Well, it's okay. It's okay. But in terms of, what's happening in the world, it's a bit of a dull time right now, isn't it? I mean, you keep hearing about people called Philip and Harry and, names like that. I mean, they're the ones who are making the news. Otherwise, it's a bit dull. We can't talk about what's happening in, in the war zone. We can't talk about that because that's a no. But a bit dull right now. But anyway, no problems. John K, nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from you. Hasta la vista. Good evening, gents. Hasta la vista. That reminds me, I've started watching Arnold Schwarzenegger's new TV series. Not a movie, it's actually a TV series on Netflix, Fubar. I've watched the first episode of it, and it's a bit slapstick, but it's but I mean, it's watchable. I'll watch the rest of it anyway. It can only get better. Brent L, nice to hear from you, mate. Brent L from Australia, Melbourne, I believe. Alan Hunter, good evening, Alan. Okay, nice to hear from you. Nike is here. Yours Travels, good to see you having a day out the other day. When was that? Was that the day when I went into town and ended up causing havoc when the security alarm went up? Was that it? Scooter Springsteen, evening at it all from hot Dusseldorf. Okay, now that sounds it. Dusseldorf, is that Germany? I've been to Germany, but I haven't been to that one. Is that Germany or am I wrong? Nice to hear from you anyway. Chaz Brown, hello Ed, hope you're okay. I've been laid up with flu a few days. Looking forward to better days. Oh well, get better soon, mate. Anyway, get better soon. I've had plenty of this hot chocolate. Nice. There's two brands of hot chocolate that you get from the co-op. One's good, this one, the hot chocolate, and the other one, the drinking chocolate, not very good. This is the better one. Definitely the better one. Sean Young, looking forward to a dose of your Scouse wit and wisdom. Well, you come to the wrong place, mate. But thanks anyway. Thanks anyway. Billy Bob, evening at you. Sunbathing this weekend. Show off your new trainers. Well, I don't sunbathe. I never do that. And even when I'm abroad, I'm on nice beaches and all that. I find that really boring to just lie down in the sun and soak it and get a tan. Who cares? I mean, is a tan going to make me look any better anyway? I'm not really bothered about that. I mean, I do what most single guys do. When they walk along a beach, they walk along there to see if there's any like skimpy bikinis and all that sort of stuff. I can't be bothered sunbathing. Mister, hiya, does that green tuk-tuk in your opening if electric avoid being billed? If electric avoid being billed? Not quite sure. I think the green tuk-tuk, I think that's the other opening, not the one that I just played. Not that one. Not quite with you there, mate. Let's see. Expat Pete, nice to have you, Expat Pete. I met Expat Pete in Malaysia. Remember in Kuala Lumpur, wandered around looking for something interesting. And Expat Pete, nice to hear from you, mate. Barry from EastEnders, evening, Ed and chaps. Just playing Warzone, so can't stay, but I hope you have a great stream. Okay, good for you, mate. Have a nice evening. Richard O says 7 weeks until he heads to the land of smiles. Bloody good, mate. Good for you. Good for you, mate. Kipax is here. Nice to hear from you. Who else we got? Mark Ollick is here. Mark Ollick, good evening, Eddie. Oh, things are going well over there across the pond. Yeah, they're going okay. A bit dull. I mean, what would you expect from me? I mean, England's can be a very, very dull place, but it's at the end of the day, problem free. Got no problems, nothing like that. I was a bit peed off the other day when I built myself up for that, that needles and scissors and scalpel treatment at the hospital, only to be told, oh no, this is when we actually do it. This is when we review you for it. So that's going to be about 6 to 8 months time now. So I've got to wait another 6 to 8 months before I have needles and scissors and scalpel and all that kind of stuff. Oh, okay. Nice to hear from you, Mark. Billy Bob. Billy Bob, has Philip Schofield joined the chat, Eddie? No, he's not welcome here. We don't want his type here. Bloody old geese. I mean, if he's going to bat for the other side, then let him go do it with a fella his own age or something similar. Where's there a young lad? We're going to mention that in a minute because it's in the news an awful lot, and everyone else is talking about it, so we may as well talk about it. Yes, travels the gardens takes a lot of upkeep to keep it looking like that. Oh well, I know gardens are they are a full-time job, really. Okay, rumors are the Turkey's economy is. AJ, rumors are Turkey's economy is going down the pan. Can't be as bad as ours, surely. No, theirs is much worse. I'm sure theirs is much worse. As some of you know, I spent a lot of time in Turkey over the years because I owned a place there. Their currency has just gone down the pan, and just everything else has gone down the pan. It's not. I can't really see how Turkish people can travel anymore because their currency is so weak. Is so valueless against it might be all right if you actually live in Turkey, but apparently it's the poorer people who are suffering. But it's Turkish people. Geez, if you meet Turkish people on holiday, they must be very, very wealthy because the Turkish lira is just shite against other currencies. Alan Hunter, 4 days before I fly to Thailand, Toronto via Istanbul to Bangkok. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Well, good for you. Kipax, have you seen The Covenant, Eddie? It's on Prime now, top film. The Covenant. I think I might have seen that, but I can't remember. I think I've seen that a few years ago. Can't actually remember what that one. Because late at night when you're watching the movies, I tend to forget an awful lot of them, even while I'm watching it. Scooter Springsteen. Yes, there is indeed, Eddie, near the Dutch border. Yeah, that's Dusseldorf. Yeah, some great German cities. I've been to Munich, Berlin, Frankfurt, Hamburg. Good cities, all of them really, really good cities. Jason Finch says he doesn't want Pattaya to change. Well, it's always going to be Pattaya. Is always going to be a bit of the Pattaya that you remember from old. It's never going to change that much. It's never going to change. There's still going to be elements of Pattaya unless they completely overhaul it. I mean, I can still go to Pattaya now, and I can get the genuine Pattaya experience. And yeah, go-go bars and dirty massages and live bands and all that kind of stuff. Just a bit more expensive than it used to be. Okay. Shoplifting. Let's see. 80. Shoplifting is on the rise because all food's gone up. Tell Gaz 17 to leave some for us. Oh my God. It's the little things, it's like HP sauce and a carton, a little carton of gravy, Bisto gravy. I almost didn't buy it. I mean, you can't really have a roast dinner without gravy. But I bought a carton of gravy, £3.10. It used to be about a bloody quid, and I bought it. And then when I got it home, I found out I had almost a full jar there anyway. Let's see. Alan Hunter, $1,300 one way. So I'm going to retire there. Esan. Oh, good for you. Good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you. Nike. It's towards a hot chocolate fund. Okay, well, at least that's a reasonable price. It's bloody Bisto gravy and HP sauce or whatever. What are they playing at with those prices? Let's see. Mr. Arnold, screw your freedom, Schwarzenegger. Whatever. Is that a quote from the? Is that a quote from the new food? But it's much heralded. It's a big scale, 8-episode production on Amazon. The first one was a little bit slapstick corny, but I watched the rest of it anyway, and it looks pretty good. Mark, I hope everything works out there for you. Do you mean the chap who usually retired into Thailand? I do as well. I do as well. Tanda, nice to hear from you, Tanda. Hope all's well. Hope you're enjoying the sun. I think Tanda lives on down south as well. Hi, Eddie. Great to see you. Nice to hear from you, Tanda. Richard O, is the premium lounge at Heathrow Terminal 2 worth the money for boarding a flight to Bangkok? Well, perhaps someone would know that. I haven't actually been there. I mean, a friend of mine's going to the Philippines, and he's arriving at the airport, Heathrow Airport, at about 15 hours before his flight because he doesn't trust the roads and says that in case there's an accident on the roads, he wants to be there. I mean, really, I think 15 hours is a bit excessive, really. But the premium lounge at Heathrow Terminal 2. I've never actually no personal experience of it. I don't really need that place personally. So anyway, where are we now? Oh, towards that. I've lost a little bit here. Yeah, David Merchant, nice to hear from you, mate. Thailand found. Ed, got the Thai bird coming here on June the 25th. You dirty old man. Good for you. And any tips? Would you be a gentleman? She's a lady, so act like a gentleman. There you go. Also, tell all about Sports Direct. Tell all about Sports Direct. I don't need to tell all about Sports Direct. All I need to say is bastards. That's all I need to say. Okay, I've done a video of it. I think that says it all. Was going to watch them, seeing you were on live stream. Okay, cheers. Yeah, cats and good coffee. Steady Eddie Live, not ironic question. Are you going to be drinking ginger ale next time you visit Pattaya bars? Well, I doubt if they'll sell it. I doubt if they'll sell that. But I think the probably not. No. As for the idea of having a beer in the hot sunshine in Thailand when I'm on holiday traveling, um, well, I've been off the beer, I've been off the booze completely, any alcohol for 2 months now, and I'm feeling better for it. I've lost a couple of pounds, not a massive amount of weight, because I still do like my food. Um, but I've lost a bit of weight and and I feel generally a lot better for being off the booze 2 months now. Um, as for whether I'll resume, as for whether I'll be having cold beers when I'm traveling again, well, it's a bit of a bland, repetitive answer, but I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Philip Mulville, steady, sober, looks tremendous. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Mark Ollick, how was that roasted chicken from the other night? It was bloody good. It was really, really good. We had lovely roasted chicken, nice big generous portion of chicken with roast potatoes, peas, stuffing, gravy, followed off by a nice ice cream and whatever. What wonderful stuff! Wonderful stuff. Thanks for that. Chicken dinner is great, but the thing is, if you buy a chicken from the co-op or somewhere like that, just check it kind of thoroughly, especially if it's only got a couple of days to go for its sell-by date. Because I was looking for that chicken the last time, and it let me down. But this one was all right. Went down really well. Yours travels. Average return flight to UK, Thailand now 18 months. Last night 9 months it was 1150, so looking good. Oh well, that's good then, isn't it? 800 quid. No, that's a bit better. That's progressive, isn't it? That's a bit progressive. Crypto Chris card. He's talking about Turkey. Laid it down to 26 to a pound. I tell you what, when I first started going to Turkey about 20 years ago, I could actually get 2.5 lira to a pound. 2.5, and now it's about 26 to a pound. The lira is just you've got almost valueless. Shin Rana, nice to hear from you. Yours travels. Pattaya will always be a slum, but you can see you're still slumming in luxury there. When you say it's a slum, I mean, if you look at places like Soiber Cow and some of the other soys, I mean, the actual old infrastructure of those buildings, those bars that you know and love on Soiber Cow and places like that. I mean, the actual buildings themselves, they do look like slums. They do they look like they need tearing down. But the actual, the bar, it's got a bit of charm about it, isn't it? It's like a slum area with lots of bars and massage parlors. Smashed is here. It's Edis Maximus, the gladiators at the Colosseum. No lines, only thumbs up, please, folks. Okay, nice to hear from you, Smash. Nice to hear from you. That's Rome, by the way. Obviously, that's Rome. Taken in 1992, I think it took that. Harry Holt, even eggs are an expensive item. I haven't had them in a long time. Seamus Doherty, Eddie, I visited the Colosseum years ago. Fantastic. I know it's all still there, isn't it? I mean, it's what wonderful. I mean, 2,000 years old and it's preserved and everything. Well, it was there 30 years ago when I see it. Lester Bangs, Al Pacino is to become a dad again at 83. Oh my God, oh my. After De Niro now, he's becoming a dad again at 79 last month. What has going on? Oh, 83. The thing is, I mean, it's easy to say that, if he becomes a dad at 83, I mean, by the time that kid's an adult, he's going to be 101 years old. And Although we're not right in saying that to be an adult in America, you've got to be 21. So he'd be older than that. But he's it seems a bit upset. But don't forget, though, I mean, that kid is going to be born into money. He's not going to be born into poverty. That kid, he may be born without a father very soon, but at least he won't be poor. Mark Oleg, Eddie, any plans on revisiting Athens and climbing a hill to the Acropolis? That was a great video. I liked Athens. I would like Greece. I mean, I've no plans to travel there right now. But Greece is a wonderful country. The islands and Athens itself. I can't remember the name of the area, but I stayed in a small zone of Athens where everything I needed was within walking distance. And wonderful city. I definitely recommend that. Definitely. Mark Ollie, good to know Pacino can still get it up. I know, 83, and he can still rise to the occasion. That's pretty amazing in itself, isn't it? Yeah, Mister says eggs for $1 a dozen. If buying 15 dozen this week. Hallelujah. Well, that sounds good. Is that $15 for 15 dozen? Well, that sounds bloody good. That doesn't sound like a healthy diet to me. Yours travels. Ed wouldn't reconsider getting a scooter and traveling around town again. I find it so easy getting around on a scooter, and only 70,000 baht new or 5,000 baht a month. Taxis and tuk-tuks add up. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, now, I don't know. I mean, I don't trust them. I've seen too many accidents. I've seen deaths. In Thailand, I've seen deaths on scooter. It's not something that you forget easy. I've seen a guy, on Beach Road, a guy smashed his head, in a scooter, and someone else I seen with his leg ripped off. And once you see something like that, I don't think it's for me, that really. Thailand found A7 on soy A7 on soy whatever sells ginger beer now. It does. That's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting. But if it's the full fat content ginger beer, it's probably very, very high in calories. So I'd probably just as well have a beer anyway. Let's see. Yeah, Crypto Chris Card saved a beer for holidays. I'm not desperate for a beer. AG, apparently you can't call lady footballers ladies. They have to be called players. What a load of bollocks. That's all to say to all of that. But players is like, that could be either male or female. I mean, you want to, are they lady players or female players? It's all getting really, really silly. John Mitch, have you got yourself an air fryer for roasting meats? No, I haven't. I do everything in the oven, John. But nice to air fry me anyway. I haven't really had that much meat recently, have I? Not really. That chicken was, because I had a bad experience with the chicken some weeks back. And steak is just getting a little bit expensive. I mean, and really, and it becomes quite an expensive meal. But I don't know, maybe steak's going to be back on the menu. We'll see what happens anyway. Nice to hear from you, John. Kipak says, March last year, their prices were very good. Never seen it that cheap so far. Oh, no, I'm just seeing lots of expensive flights right now. That's all I'm seeing. I'm not seeing anything cheap personally. Cats and good coffee. I recently met an Indian IT manager in a bar in Bangkok. He confirmed that IT companies in India offer trips to Pattaya to their most dedicated employees as part of their benefits so that they enjoy a bit. I mean, what an incentive that is. Imagine you work in a sales department and your bonus is to go and have a dirty massage or a soapy Jesus, that'd make the workforce be a bit more attentive, wouldn't it? I wouldn't say no to that. Mr. Tidy Garden, Eddie, I'm off to Pattaya 4 weeks today for 10 days. I'm also going to travel Southeast Asia in November until February. Where do you recommend to go after Thailand, Damien? After Thailand, there are Southeast, well, obviously Cambodia and Vietnam are still great countries to visit. It depends what you want, really, but they're great. They're terrific countries. If you haven't been to Cambodia or Vietnam, they're the ones to aim for. Red Boy. Yeah, we got a Red Boy in the house if anyone's interested. UN Romed. No, that was taken 30 years ago, that picture. Where are we now? Yeah, let's get over there. Stephen West. I wouldn't say Pattaya is a slum. Lots of places are being refurbished and they have nicer condos than the UK. It depends where you are. I mean, some of those condo areas. I mean, some of the beautiful. If you go to somewhere like John TM and all that, it all looks very, very nice. But the actual roads of Cyber. I mean, look at the infrastructure of those old buildings there. The new modern buildings look very, very nice, but the older buildings, the older buildings. I mean, when you're sitting at a bar, what bar was there? What's it called? The one on the corner is Soy Honey and Cyber Cow. What's that bar called again? Can't remember what it's called now. You think it used to be the Noi Bar, but when you're sitting there and you look across where the Ladyboys are. Not that I look at Ladyboys, but they're there anyway, if you're interested. And you look at some of those buildings and down the road, you think, oh, that looks like a bit of a slum, that does. But it's a nice slum. It's a slum with, with bars and massage parlors and all that. Jock Martin's best Coliseum I've seen was King on OK. Okay. Yeah, Red Boy, you looking like you've lost a lot of weight, Ed. Not as much. It's deceptive. Looking good. How long have you been off the booze now? A solid 2 months. 2 months I've been off the booze, and before that I was sort of weaning my way off it. So it's almost 3 months now since I come back from Thailand. I spent the first month sort of weaning my way off the booze, and then I've been off the booze completely for 2 solid months. And yeah, I feel a lot better for it. Thanks. There you go, Alan Hunter. How can Besto in the tube cost less $3 here and cost less $3 here? The world has gone crazy. That's about £1.50. I'll send some over. Are you talking? Oh, you talking about Bisto? You talking about the gravy? Yeah. How can Bisto in the tube cost less $3 here in Canada? The world's gone crazy. That's about £1.50. No, a carton of Bisto, about as big as that cup there, that mug, cost £3.10 out of the co-op. Bloody expensive. Josh Travels, Category Coffee. My Mrs. Job in the hotel, Mrs. Job in the hotel in finance and groupings. She hates work with you, and she said they want everything for no. I'm not going to get it. I like Indians. They're cool. They're good fun. They are. Johnny Bay. I said, have you seen the documentary Scam City? A guy that travels the world looking to get scammed. He's looking to get scammed. It's not difficult. Very intriguing. No, I haven't actually seen that one. Nice to hear from you anyway. Yeah, Catagon Coffee. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridas, commander of the armies of the north, general of the Felix legions, and loyal servants to the true emperor. Marcus Aurelius, father to a made his son. Okay. And his lieutenant was big as Dickus, presumably. Ginger Joe. Eddie, do you prefer curry or pizza? Well, curry, definitely. I like a nice Indian. Funny, some of the best meals that I had on my travels. I had a nice Indian restaurant in Malaysia and one in that island of it. What was it? Kolan? No, not Kolan. The other one, the nice one, Koh Lipe. That's it. Pizza. Pizza. Sometimes I like pizza, but what I've tend to find is that the cheaper pizzas are the ones that I enjoy most. I mean, if you buy an expensive pizza, you don't necessarily get what you pay for it. I had a really crap one there in Cambodia. Yeah, Bart Simpson. I'm going to Turkey Sunday. Got 40 lira to the pound. 40 later, I'm going to drink with the Wongers and let them take advantage of me. Oh, they've no interest in you. If you're those Wongers, honestly, if you're a 50-something bloke from England, they've really got no interest in you. No, they want the 25-year-old Turkish gigolos with the firm bodies they have. That's what they go out there. They got no interest in in a bloke their own age. They go out there to have a bit of rumpy with guys young enough to be the grandson. That's what it is. Well, when you think about it, I mean, if you was in Thailand and you met a Western woman who's your age, is that what you go there for? I mean, that they go there for the dirty old bitches go there to have rumpy pumpy with the young Turkish lads. Oh yeah, cost of mayo. I missed it. Couldn't have an egg sandwich. Did you see that mayo cost through the? Oh, so mayo. I don't even buy mayonnaise. I mean, we've had Bisto, we've had Bisto HP, and now you tell me that mayo costed. What's happening to everyone? Are we being? Are we paying the price for a little bit of pleasure? Rent boy. I love I love the way you say my name, Ed. It really gets me going. Really? Does it really get you going? Is that what it does? You're not bloody Philip Schofield, mate, are you? Yeah, I look to the stars. Eddie, what's rumpy pompy mongering? That's what those dirty, sweaty old women do when they're out in Turkey and Gambia. I'll get Kipax. Oh, we're getting a bit smutty now. We're getting a bit smutty now. Getting a bit smutty. Mark Alec, I may have some Indian American indigenous blood in these veins. That sounds good. I'm sure a lot of Americans probably do. Yeah, probably do. I think James Garner, people like James Garner spoke openly about he had indigenous American blood in his veins, and amazing amounts of those Americans, famous actors, could trace, indigenous American blood, Indian blood, some way back. McLaren F1 race. Mr. Eddie, have I missed some dinghy people chat? Or are we talking Boris? What's it? Well, the dinghy people, we've overdone that a little bit. And as for Boris, and as for Boris, WhatsApp chats. Do you know something? Are there some news stories that you just find incredibly bloody boring? You think, oh, I've heard too much of this. I want to switch the news up. That's one of them. I found all this news report about Boris and the investor. I found that really, really boring. I mean, I wouldn't want to talk about it here. I didn't care about Boris when he was prime minister. I care even less about him now, really. And I just don't care about Boris. I just don't care about him. Mark Alec, Tim Curry was a bloody good actor. He was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Definitely. Let's see. Marco, so you're saying 65 plus blokes have a chance with the Wongers. If you've got plenty of, I mean, the thing about the Wongers, if you talk about the Wongers in Turkey, what I did notice about them is that They go there lusty. They take their pensions or the divorce settlements. They go to take they're lusting after the young fellas. That's what they want. But what happens with the Wongas is that when they're out there for a few years, their pension starts running dry and they're running out of money. And that is when those Wongas who settle to live in Turkey, that is when they turn their attention to older Western guys. If there's any older Western guys, the Wongas suddenly become attracted to, because those young Turkish fellas, they're not gonna pay the Wongas any money. Those young Turkish guys, once the Wongas run out of money, those young guys are not interested in them anymore. Yeah, they're not interested in the Wongas anymore. So that's when the Wongas turn their attention to the see if there's any older English guys around who may have money to support them. Oh yeah, Mister, screw your freedom. Arnold's Maxine recommendation. Oh, is that what it is? Is that what it is? Yours travels. Wongas only do what Wongas do. I know they do. I know they do. Good for them. Good for them. Smashed. I think Rent Boy is after that. Where's Lisa Dale when you need their protected bun? Rent Boy won't be not my team. My name's Eddie, not bloody Philip. Jesus Christ. We'll talk a little bit about Philip in a minute. We'll talk a little bit about Philip in a minute. Okay. But in the meantime, I'm going to just quickly grab another hot chocolate. Let's see now. Where are we? No, not that bloody one. Give that a miss. Okay. Yeah, McLaren F1's having a nice meal. Italian sausage and pasta and chips here, watered down with San Miguel. 4 cans here. Good for you, mate. That sounds good. That sounds good. Johnny B, would you take Lisa Dale out for the spicy number? Yuck. That's all I'll say for that. Mark Alec, Rent Boy, how much? Whatever he gets, he'll probably spend it all on bloody sweeties. Okay, so anyway, let's have a little look. Yeah, John Mitch. Marks and Spencer would sell great Indian ready meal curries, especially when they're being reduced. Very genuine curries. Really, I don't shop at Marks and Spencer, but funny enough, you said that. I did actually have a curry, a ready meal curry and rice from, you've guessed it, the Co-op. I had one of them yesterday, and it never really went down well. It said best do it in the microwave. I'd done it in the microwave, and it wasn't exactly a rocket to the moon. It wasn't really a rocket to the moon. Maybe Marks and Spencer's. Yeah, I've heard that Marks and Spencer's is quite nice, but expensive though. Catalogue Coffee. I'm disappointed with you. I thought you knew that epic scene of the movie Gladiator when he removes his helmet and says, "My name is Maximus, and I will have my vengeance." And to be honest with you, that movie Gladiator, I've seen it once, and I wasn't really blown away with that film. I know Ridley Scott is a wonderful filmmaker, but I wasn't really blown away with that movie. Maybe if I've seen it a second time, I would enjoy it a bit more. But what's his name? Russell Crowe is a. Is that Russell? I don't want to see Russell Crowe remove his helmet. I don't want to see Russell Crowe's helmet. No, 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 thank you. Mark Alec, welcome to the Steady Eddie Smut chat. No, not here. Okay, we'll try and lay off the smut. We'll lay off the smut. Okay, the funds. Nice to hear from your funds. Okay, so apologies if I have just. Let's see, Jock Martins. Ed, you must be thinking about old age. 60 now. Age waits for no man. Can't do it all ourselves. Forget it. Well, I'm bloody 61 to be honest with you. So even 60. Jesus Christ, the clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. So anyway, about Philip Schofield. Don't need to see a picture there. For those who are out of the country, who don't know who Philip Schofield is, well, I'm British and I don't bloody know who he is. Apparently, Philip Schofield is one of the biggest TV presenters in this country, and he has been for many years. Well, I've missed him because this morning, I don't really watch stuff like that, but he's constantly in the news because this guy is 61 years of age. He came out a few years ago as batting for the other side. When everyone bloody, it was blindingly obvious anyway. He's not exactly Mr. Machismo, you know what I mean? But the thing about Philip Schofield, he's got a boyfriend, young enough to be his grandson, so it's all controversy. And now Philip Schofield was on the TV to say his career is in ruins. He's been dropped from ITV, and and his agents and just about everywhere else. And it was kind of nauseating today, even though I don't rate him as a celebrity or a presenter. It was quite nauseating. He was doing an interview today. Everyone is waiting. Everyone is waiting for the busies to raid his home. Everyone's waiting for that. To be honest with you, because the big question is that this lad underage when Schofield started having a relationship, and was he underage? But anyway. Schofield was actually came out for the second time. He came out the first time when he came out of the closet, and today he came out and he said that his life is in ruins, his career is in ruins, and basically he's suggesting that he might just fall on his own sword because there's nothing else left in his life. His life is in ruins, and do you sympathise with him? I mean, he knew what he was getting into. I mean, maybe think these millionaire celebrities who have everything going, when it all goes pear-shaped for him, it all goes tits up, even though he doesn't even appreciate a good pair of tits the way us real men do. When it all goes tits up, do you have any sympathy for them? Do you have any sympathy for people like that? Let me just say. There you go. Okay, so this is the question. Do you have sympathy for rich celebs and all when it all goes pear-shaped. I was going to say all goes tits up, but YouTube will pick up on that. And they won't. The YouTube robots will pick up on that, and they won't like it. Okay. Okay. So anyway. Yeah, Chuck Martins. He's a groomer. Simple. Now he's saying he's not a groomer. He's saying he's not a. Oh, that's an awful word. That it's not a bloody awful groomer. Oh, that is one of those modern words. I mean, I understand what that word means and whatnot, but it's a bloody horrible word. I hate that word. David Martins, not one dot of sympathy. I don't have a dot of sympathy. He knew what he was getting into when he formed it. He's a 61-year-old dirty old bastard. That's what he is. If he's going to baff for the other side, then let him baff for the other side, but let him do it with someone his own age, and even a bit young. I mean, even if it was with a guy who's young enough to be his son, that would still be an adult. But one who's young enough to be his grandson. Oh, the dirty, bloody bearhead. Thailand found out sympathy for his wife, oblivious. She must have known. Yeah, Remboy says Philip is a legend, and well, yeah, that's him. He's the one who's shagging Philip. That's him. It's him. And we sussed him out now anyway. Stephen West. Philip is a batty man. I'm not quite sure there. Johnny B. Definitely not. How can a 60-year-old be sleeping with teenage boys? Filled. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. Mark Hollick, he's a dozy bastard. What are you suggesting? He's going to end up working at Sports Direct with the other dozy bastards. Yeah, Rent Boy. Philip is a lovely human being. How much money was he giving you? Okay. Kipax, how young is this kid? This kid, it's a little bit obscure how young, but the consensus that he was a teenager at the start of the relationship, but he might have been a younger teen. We don't nobody quite knows, and this is what people really want to know. Johnny B, I feel sorry for Philip's wife and family. I mean, his wife could probably weather the storm. I mean, she's probably used to him by now. But apparently, he's got a couple of daughters, and I mean, yeah, absolutely. I do feel very sorry for them. Lester Bangs, when Schofield says he's lost everything, he won't be showing us his bank balance. Do you know something? I mean, some of his ex-colleagues on this morning, some of these namby-pamby, crappy people, were showing sympathy for him. I mean, when Philip was pouring his heart out, expecting the world's sympathy, my life is in. Do you know what it reminded me? It reminded me of that scene from The Godfather, Johnny Fontaine. Remember Johnny Fontaine? His career is going down, and he needs this part in a movie in order to revitalize his career. And Johnny Fontaine goes to The Godfather and says, "What can I do, Godfather? What can I do? Oh, Godfather, what can I do?" And The Godfather says to him, "What can you do? Well, you can act like a man." What can I do, Godfather? What can I do, Godfather? I mean, this is what Philip Schofield reminded me of today when he's pouring his heart out and all that. Expect him. Come on, sympathy. Yeah. Come on, everyone out there, get the Kleenex out for poor old. Won't get a bloody ounce of sympathy for me. Yeah, he knew what he was getting into. And I feel so. I mean, the young lad, whether that was the young lad was consented, but the fact is, he was still a young lad. Jos Savills, that young lad apparently has already told police he wasn't groomed and he wanted all this kept in the public as there was nothing illegal happening. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. But I still think somehow Phil's a dirty old whatever. Yeah, Jack Martin today. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Mark Alec, sorry, McLaren. I saw the clip of him and Holly hugging when he came out hugging in a plastic shield during COVID. Effing sick. Wasn't that? No, I don't really watch. I only seen it on the news. But people have been out for years. People have been out for years. I mean, I actually thought he was a bit behind the time. He come out of the closet a couple of years ago. I mean, so what? Lots of people are bloody get. Half of the TV presenters back for the other side. Look at all those chat show hosts over the years. What's his name? Graham Norton, Paul O'Grady. God bless him, he's dead now. What's the other one? Alan something or other. They all back for the other side. Who cares? I mean, why did Philip have to come out and cry his eyes out like a baby? Oh. Kerbucks. Oh my God almighty. Danish bacon, nice to hear from you. Smooth operator, 80%. Yeah, really. Yeah, okay. Yeah, McLaren wants it was all legal, he says with a wry smile. Bart Simpson, and he pushed in at the Queen's funeral. And he pushed in at the Queen's funeral. Yeah, oh, well, oh, yeah, I know, yeah, absolutely. Bloody awful. Mark Alec, 16. Is that 16 for, that's a 16-year-old is a child. To me, that's a child at 16 years of age. I don't approve of that. I think it should be much higher than that. Today I was walking through the town. I was walking along the seafront, funnily enough, and today I seen a couple of men, and it's not something that you not often see where I live, but I seen a couple of men. They were both about like 40, maybe 50 years old. A couple of guys, with bald heads, looked like a lot of other guys, and the two of them were holding hands. They were holding hands with each other. Now I still feel a little bit uneasy when I see a couple of guys holding hands. I mean, it's not something I feel really comfortable with. But at least these are grown men, and it's obviously consensual. Good for them. They were holding hands together. Okay, fine. It's not something that I'm not saying I don't approve of it. I mean, okay, that's up to them. But at least they're grown adult men. But when you get a 60-year-old dirty bastard, 61 or whatever he is, with a young teenage boy, that's disgusting. That even if it's consensual, it's still bloody disgusting. Yeah, Rent Boy, nice, Mark. Yeah, Mark. He's after your money. Don't trust him, Mark. He's after your money. He's going to try and blackmail you, Mark. Rent Boy's going to try and blackmail you. Cats and Good Coffee. Talking about celebrities, I saw a video on YouTube of the most recent concert of Genesis. Phil Collins was singing terribly and sitting in a chair, depressing. Glad they're not paid to see. I don't understand that. I've heard about that. I mean, Phil Collins wasn't my favorite Genesis person. That was Peter Gabriel. But I hear that Phil Collins is very, very poorly now. If people want to see it, they obviously know the situation before they see it. But maybe there's something in that. Maybe because you're rock and roll until you die. Maybe that's what it's all about. I find it kind of obscene the Rolling Stones prancing around in silly trousers at their age. But maybe it's rock and roll until I die. Maybe people want to see that. Maybe people want to see it. I don't, but maybe other people did. Mark Oleg, keep it legal is my motto. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we'll see about that. Whether we'll see what comes out about Philip. Ugh. Stephen Sutty, evening everyone. He likes to everybody, especially himself and his loved ones. He's also He also lived a double life. Well, he was married for a long time, and then he come out. It seemed bizarre, really. It seemed he was so behind the times. It seemed he was so behind the time. Why didn't he? When he came out, he's an old man already, and he's coming out of the closet. Others have been doing it for years. What's his bloody problem? Yeah. Yeah. It's all coming out now. It's all coming out now. Rent boy, Phil's a gentleman. And he yeah, right. But Phil's a gentleman. He's not got the biggest sausage, but he's good with his tongue. Okay, you dirty, 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 filthy little pervert. Okay. It's a nice comment. Jock Martins. Apparently, Phil's was brave coming out after lying to his wife for 27 years. Okay, like it, like it. Richie though, Michael Barrymore. And I'll tell you what, Michael Barrymore, you wouldn't have thought so. I wasn't a fan of Michael Barrymore, but he did have a bit of a unique talent, and he was kind of different. But you wouldn't have thought that about. I was surprised to hear that about him. Thailand found spitting image out of Philip Schofield years ago, along with Jason Dunn. Yeah, I do recall that. I do recall that. Let's see. Mark Alec. Oh, I agree. Great it is. I don't date anyone under 30 these days. That's good for you. 30 is a good age. 30 is a good age. I've seen lots of lovely birds in Thailand, lovely, around 30. 30 is a nice, healthy age. I like 30. I'd say 30 is about the right age for the guy in the 60s. David Coleman. Eddie, I'm here. Now we can start. Nice to hear from you, David. David's in Toronto right now. Up to now, David, we've been talking. There's not much interest in, so you haven't missed much. But we've been talking about that dirty bloody that dirty person who's in the news, and 61-year-old fella who was going with a teenage boy and all this kind of stuff. Eastern man. Schofield has now said he identifies as a Pakistani from Rotherham. The police are okay. Like it. Nice to hear from you, mate. Mark Oleg. When I was 16, I was out with 18 and 19-year-olds. What good for you? That's fair. But did they know you were 16? No, those 18 and 19-year-olds. Do you know something? Let me reveal to you something. When I was a young man at about that age, 16. Obviously, you're interested in girls. You want to meet girls, but it was kind of embarrassing because the problem with me when I was 16 years old is that I looked about 30. I had a growth of facial hair. By 16, I had a beard and a moustache and whatever, and I could pass for. I could bloody pass for much older at 16 years of age. And the problem is that girls, I don't know if it's different now, but a girl will not go with a boy who is younger than him. And often, I'd get close to like an 18 and 19-year-old girl, and I'd seem to be doing all right. But when they found out that I was only 16, stay away, dirty. There was so teenage girls had a problem, or even young women had a problem with going with guys who were even a year or two younger. If you were a year younger than them, then that was a no. They wouldn't go. I don't know if it's still like that now. It's like that now, but I would attract girls who were a couple of years older than me. But when they found out how old I was, stay away. Yeah, like it was terrible. It was dreadful looking. It was dreadful when I was young because I always looked much older than I was. Not good. Your travels. I'm sure there'll be many mongers 50 plus sleep with 16 and 19-year-olds. Oh yeah, absolutely. You never know a bar girls. Oh yeah, well, yeah, but you talk about mongers. The wongers. you know, out in Turkey, they probably do that. I'm sure there are many mongers 50 plus sleep with 16 to 19-year-olds. I wouldn't, because especially if you are, if you are in Thailand, the girls there almost always are older than they look. They're not younger than, they don't tend to be younger than they look. They tend to be older. So if a Thai girl is 16 to 19 years old, then how old does she look in the first place? She probably only looks about bloody 12. I mean, there are. I think a 50 plus monger who targets 16 to 19. I think he's a bloody pervert personally. I like the ladies as many others, but 25 and upwards, 16 to 19. That's a kid that I would, that's they're perverts. Any fellas who target girls that age has got something wrong with them. That's it. Okay. Oh yeah, Mark Ollie. Good to see Rifle Fred was getting on there. Oh, you talking about those two gay boys that are seen? Mark Ollie, I agree. 61 on the teen is disgusting. I agree, mate. Absolutely. McLaren, bald men. It wasn't me. Now 48. Okay. I don't know. It just seems strange. I mean, these guys, like, they were probably about 50 years old, and they have bald heads, like the kind of fellas that you see in Pattaya, like, ten a penny in Pattaya, but they were holding hands, and they were quite big blokes as well, holding hands with each other. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that I still get a little bit shocked at that. Not shocked, but a little bit, yeah, because I'm not used to it. I'm not. Maybe if I lived in some other place, I would be, but not here. Mark Oleg, rent boy, is $5,000 enough? Asking for a friend. Rent boy, the rent boy doesn't need $5,000. If you give me enough money for his drugs, then that'll be enough for him. Yeah. Yeah, rent boy. What Phil did is no difference to you in Thailand with a 20-year-old spinner. I don't go with 20-year-old spinners. I think 20's too young for me, mate. 20's too young. Try 25 and upwards. David Coleman, I had to ride the bus home in the one I was on, painted an LG. David Coleman, I had to ride the bus home in the one I was on with, where it was on painted an LGBT, all that nonsense, colours, ridiculous. Let me just see if I can get this up. No, wrong one. Okay. Wrong one. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Okay, where are we now? Absolutely. I mean, come on for rainbow colours and and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's getting a bit daft. No name. Eddie looks like a gladiator today. Okay, fine, thank you. Mark, Eddie would have made a good Roman emperor. Oh, I think I'd be like Caligula. I think I'd be surrounded with all these gorgeous naked women, and I'd probably be like Caligula. Kipax, Philip, just a big drama queen. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Yeah, hard Sheila. Elvis dated Priscilla when she was 4. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, there are some dubious ones in the past, aren't there? Yeah, Kipax. His wife didn't know, but I guess wearing the strap on for 27 years wasn't a giveaway. Okay. David Coleman, damn pride. I don't go downtown at all now in Toronto. It's terrible. Really? I was told Canada was one of those macho man places. I didn't think that would have been it. That's it. Martin Powell. Mick Jagger can do it live. His voice on the tour was good. There's a bit of movement on stage. I mean, how the hell is it? You know when you know all those people have taken dreadful substances in the time and they're still going strong. Doesn't seem fair. Mark Alex, I told him was 18. He's talking about when he was a teenager with the girls. Mark Ollie, I couldn't get into the strip bars without being carded. That's what we need here. We need more bloody strip bars here. We need more of them in there where I live. It's a bit dull here. Wayne Ritchie. Eddie. The problem is girls like the guys with experience in the bedroom. Oh, I suppose it does help. I suppose it does help. Jock Martins, women go for the money. That's why it is who knew. Okay. McLaren, Eddie, what's that phone number again? I feel ranty and demonetizing. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I've got the number there. We can do a phone in, but this is going okay for now anyway. Mark, I'm going to call Eddie's phone number and just breathe heavy into the transmitter. Well, that sounds like fun anyway. Okay, so basically, I mean, sympathy for Philip. What is that? Philip Schofield. I wouldn't have any sympathy for it. I mean, the consensus is that he's a dirty old man. I mean, I think that's better. So no sympathy. He knew what he was getting in for. I mean, and there's people who are suffering genuine hardship at this moment in time. So why should anybody have sympathy? You know, he won't get any of my sympathy because I don't even think he's very talented anyway. Yeah, Martin Powell, Mick Jagger can still cut the mustard live, as shown on last year's tour. He also moves well still, but Phil Collins should never have done the tour with Genesis. It was pitiful to see him very sad. Oh, I don't understand. I heard about it. I haven't seen, but I mean, but maybe people would have wanted to say it out of curiosity. Really, Mark Alex says, "I'm not judging much. If you want to be with a younger person legally, I'll go for it. Well, as long as everyone's happy, but not. I still think it's it's too young. I mean, this I'd still like to know where this young lad that Philip went with. Where's this young lad's father? I did hear that his father is dead now. Anyway, cats and good coffee. I saw a few 70s to 75-year-olds with young ladyboy, old nans at night, walking in Bangkok. I respect all sexual orientations, but it was just a weird couple. maybe, maybe when they're so older guys and their eyesight is poor that they don't know the bloody difference. Jock Martins, as someone who has hair, do you feel out of place in Pattaya amongst the flying community? I don't feel out of place, but there are a lot of bald-headed men around. I mean, it used to be shame, embarrassing. A man used to feel self-conscious when he started losing hair. I mean, in the olden days, there were only two bald men in the whole world. There was Yul Brynner and there was Kojak. Whereas now they're all over the bloody place. David Coleman. What about the guys that go with the lady boy? Yeah. Well, as long as that's consent and okay. But I tell you what, one thing I do know about the guys who go with lady boys, it's not always the ones that you expect. I mean, I've seen some bloody big macho looking fellas coming out of massage parlors where they've been doing a bit of rumpy pumpy with the lady boys. And I've seen big macho guys with lady boys there. I mean, I always thought, what kind of fellas go with lady boys? Is it the little sort of camp, effeminate kind of guys? Not at all. The guys who go with lady boys are often big rugby player types. It's not the type that you would think. Who was this? Who we got here? Can I hear anything here? Well, I missed that one anyway. Somebody's trying to phone. Somebody's trying to phone anyway. Let me see. Let me get that volume on in case they phone again. Okay. So Taste the Rainbow. Yours Travels. That's a good. That's Jock Martin. When I was in Pattaya, the girls used to run their fingers through my ear and say, "Well, we're not used to this." Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Sounds good. Judy Garland was Francis Grum. Oh, Judy Garland was born in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. Well, that's something to be proud of, isn't it? Judy Garland was, wonderful. She was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Yeah, just travel strip bars in Liverpool and Manchester. Where's the speakers? There. Hello, good evening, and welcome.
Hello. Is that Edward Sweeney?
Yes. Who was this?
Oh, hello. It's Schofield.
It's Philip Schofield. Oh, I've got Philip Schofield on the phone here. Yes.
Hi. All I'd like to say is it was all totally legal.
Yeah.
It was all totally legal, all above board.
Yeah. And anything else?
And I have nothing else to say on the matter.
You got nothing else to say. And what about the what about it? Is crying for sympathy today? What about all the what do I do? What was me? I'm thinking of topping myself. What do you think of that?
Oh, what would you like? Would you like me to just to be dead?
Yeah, no, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I did. I did.
I don't want to get you demonetized, then.
No, it was that, by the way.
It's Clive.
It's Clive. It's Clive. Okay, this is McLaren F1. I had a little bit of an idea about that. I mean, it's I can't get excited about Philip Schofield simply because I never really watched him. I thought that he I never watched him. I don't watch this morning.
I did that. Yeah, Gordon the Gopher.
Gordon.
Remember Gordon the Gopher? He was a legend.
I can't really think much of Philip Schofield. Schofield.
Like when he was on children's television.
Oh, I never watched that. He
presented children's television, mate, on BBC.
When was this, in the 1980s?
No, 90. I don't know actually.
Well, I was an adult by then, so I wouldn't have watched that.
Yeah, late 80s.
I kind of miss Philip. I've heard of him, but he's he's not somebody that I would. I'd watch an adult present him, and Philip Schofield, for the little bits that I've seen of him, he looks incredibly corny and insincere.
Seriously, all through my life, all I watched was Jimmy Savile, Jim will fix it. You know what I mean? And you think to yourself, oh, he was. All I watched every Saturday evening was Jim will fix it.
Yeah.
And you didn't once think that bloke was
we're not really supposed to mention. We'll call him Jimmy. YouTube pick up. They don't actually like us. They don't actually like us mentioning his second name. We'll call, but with regards to Jimmy, just call him Jimmy. Do you know? Let me tell you something about Jimmy. I once seen him in Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and he looked at me, gave me a very, very strange look. I think I was about 12 years old. Maybe he was grooming me at the time. But the thing about Jimmy, when I first seen him when he was on Top of the Pops, when I was a kid. No, I like a lot of kids. I watched Top of the Pops, and there were people on there at that time. Tony Blackburn. There was Tony Blackburn, there was Dave Lee Travis, and other people who were on Top of the Pops. And as a child, when I seen people like Tony Blackburn presenting Top of the Pops, I thought, well, he looks like an adult, but he looks like a young adult who would have empathy for the music. You know, do you understand? But as soon as Jimmy come on, Jimmy looked like an old man.
40, mid-40s, 50-odd
Yeah.
year old man.
He looked like an old man then. I mean, I used to think, what was Jimmy? What was Jimmy doing, presenting Top of the Pop when he just?
You wouldn't want to know what he's doing, mate. You wouldn't want to know.
Yeah, but I think Jimmy obviously unveiled his way in there. I think he unveiled his way in there. The reason Jimmy, he used his influence, which he obviously had, to get on Top of the Pops, and Jim will fix it, because he wanted access to kids. He deliberately manipulated his way in there.
He actually lived at a hospital, a children's hospital
He's
at one time.
yeah.
I don't know if it was a children's hospital, but
Yeah.
he actually had the keys. He was almost like a janitor,
Yeah.
like a caretaker.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell? It's like putting the fox in charge of the chicken coop.
Yeah. Oh, he was, and he had no person. I just didn't like his personality years before any of the stuff come out. I just didn't like his personality at all. I mean, I hated it. When I do specifically remember as a kid when Top of the Pops came on. As soon as I seen Jimmy presenting it, I thought, oh no, not him. He looked like a weird fella.
I mean, to be fair, you know, when I used to watch Jim will fix it, he used to like fix it for kids to fly a plane and stuff like that. It was amazing. And then looking at him, you think, what a creepy.
Yeah, creepy. Yeah.
Creepy.
Oh, bloody creepy. I mean, the thing is, those people, those weirdos who prey on children, I would bet that a lot of them probably don't look fairly normal and nondescript. They probably don't look like what they really are. But I think Jimmy was an exception. He did look weird, didn't he? He did look bloody weird. Well, what made me laugh is that Tony Blackburn, and I was never a fan of Tony Blackburn, but Tony Blackburn did say something very, very interesting about Jimmy. He did say something. He said that he never really knew him that well, but whenever he met him, he said the way that he talked in real life was the way that he talked on the radio. How's about that then? Now then. And Tony Blackburn said, yeah. Tony Blackburn said, how the hell do you have a conversation with someone like that? Absolutely.
He had a big fat cigar in his job, in amongst other things, I expect. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Let's have a little look at the chat. No. Yeah, Mark Hollick says they always ask about when I hear music from the 70s during my lap dance. They always ask, really? They must like you. They ask what music you want playing. That sounds great, terrific.
Honestly, JS, really seriously, ruined my childhood.
Yeah.
Yesterday, they're still playing Michael Jackson songs, but it was plainly obvious that he was
Yeah, absolutely. Michael Jackson was an amazingly talented person, but I mean, let's be honest. I mean,
deeply flawed.
Yeah. I seen that he called something like what Michael Jackson, that when this interviewer, asked him what the public want to know is, what's a 36-year-old man having little boys staying at his home for night time. His reply was something.
He used to give them beer and pornographic content, magazines.
His reply was something like, well, not just little boys, sometimes have little girls as well. Oh, they're all weird. They're all bloody weird. Anyway, I'm just going to get back to the chat. Let's see.
Sorry.
Yeah, Bobby Crush. Nice to hear from you, Bobby Crush. They're all at it. It's all blackmail, and you have to be a wrong gun to move up the ladder because they have dirt on your face. Yeah, but Jimmy. The thing is, Jimmy probably was very manipulative, and that's a horrible word, that. But he knew how to manipulate people, and probably blackmail was very, very much a part of that. Very much a part of it. Yeah, David Coleman. I sound like my dad. Liverpool accent. I was born in Canada. Oh, good for you anyway. Good for you.
Come
Oh God Almighty, I hate that.
Come in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Mark Alex says, why Lisa Presley married Michael Jackson? Why Lisa married Michael Jackson, I will never know. Well, I think money comes in. It was all a bit strange, really. There's a lot of very strange relationships. I mean, do you not think it was a setup? Lisa Marie marrying Michael Jackson. I mean, it was something like
bloody related,
yeah. It's all a bit weird.
They're all bloody inbred. They're like the royal family, isn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, there shouldn't be that.
David Merchant. David Merchant. Johnny Rotten got banned from the BBC for suggesting there was something dubious about Jay. Yeah, and that was a long time ago. Well, they have these super injunctions, don't they? They have all these super injunctions and stuff. Anyway. Let's see. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to get rid of that question because we talked enough about that. We all think Philip is a bit of a twat anyway. We all think he's a bit of a absolutely. Anyway, okay. So anyway, there's another question I wanted to ask. It's an hour and 22 minutes into the chat. Okay, so there's another question that I want to talk about. Okay, let's see. There you go. Okay, so something else. What I'm going to put on there? Something else. What we're going to say? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to put this on there anyway. So now this regard. Are you still there? Are you, Clive?
Yeah, you'll have to tell me though, because I'm looking at a frozen picture of you, but I'm looking at the chat.
Oh, are you? Oh, are you really? Anyway, so listen. This question came through. So this question is all about. It's in the news right now that Prince Harry may be denied his visa to America. He may be thrown out of America because apparently he admitted. Let's get it up on it. He admitted in his book that he once took D's. We don't want to use the word D's too often because YouTube. There's an awful lot of words that YouTube don't like, and that's one of them. So anyway. Okay. Yeah, he admitted that he took these, so he may be thrown out of America. So let's see. What is the story? Yeah.
He'll go to Russia.
Yeah. Prince Harry's tell-all memoir, Spare, revealed that his relationship with illegal drugs started when he was 17 and gave a detailed account of what he took and when. But his decision not to hold anything back seems to backfire and may now impact his immigration status in his newfound home, California. Under US law, anyone who admits to past abuse of illegal narcotics is generally denied entry to the country. UK-based conservative think tank Heritage Foundation is currently digging under Prince Harry, arguing there is immense public interest in learning how the British royal answered the question on drugs on his US visa application form. Well, to be honest with you, to be honest with you, as I understand it, if somebody takes these, that's illegal. And if you admit it in public in a book or on social media or TV or whatever, that you took these, then that's illegal as well. So why aren't they put in prison, these people? And the reason I say this is that I've never ever understood how all of these celebrities can get away with admitting that they took D's when the rest of us would be thrown in bloody prison. Yeah, there's a picture of a couple of, there's the Gallagher brothers who admit to taking D's. Why aren't they put in prison? There was somebody there called, his name was Pete Doherty. He was known as a junkie rock star, right? I get the junkie bit. As for being a rock star, I've never heard a bloody song by him, yeah? I think he's one of these famous for being famous people. And the saddest one of all, oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful picture as well. Oh my God, my heart breaks about this one. the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Amy, the wonderful, wonderfully talented Amy, who died at 27. I know she died of, it says she died of alcohol, but we all know that she took illegal substances in abundance, and wonderfully talented girl.
Bad life that was, yeah.
I know, died at 27 years of age. In fact, her death was the most predicted of all the druggy, rock stars. I mean, people expected it to overdose. And what I want to know is that how is that these people can admit to taking D's, and yet they don't get arrested for it? The rest of us would do. Anyways,
Prince Harry was wearing Adolf Hitler outfits, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Well on drugs at that time. Like, how the hell, like, he thought that was probably a wise decision for family life, wearing, you know, Adolf Hitler fancy dress outfits is beyond me.
I actually thought Harry was an honourable man, had real empathy with the melty and all that, but I don't know.
Obviously, one of the bad genes I expect in the family, like Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew Hammond says, I heard that Meghan Markle is about to dump Harry and run off with the kids. Oh, yeah, he's obviously had insight. He's obviously something the rest of us haven't it. Andrew Hammond says, I heard Meghan Markle is about to dump Harry and run off with the kids. Yeah.
That's it, Philip Schofield doing run off with them.
Cheers. Oh, God almighty. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Nothing surprise me this day and age. Mark Oleg. Acting as the American judge, I would sign the extradition papers to any UK prison. Good for you. Good for you. Let's see. Yours travels took too many D's from 15 to 26. It's part of life. Okay. Englishman in Malta. Nice to hear from Englishman in Malta. He's got a fine channel based in Malta. Not anyone money talks. Okay. Mark Alex says, R.I.P. Amy. And she was a genuine talent. You know, of all the rock stars who've overdosed, her death was so predicted. Everyone was expecting her to die. In fact, if she'd have been arrested and put in prison and been forced off the D's, it might well have saved her life, mightn't it? And, just saying, like, you know.
What about Michael Hutchins in Excess? Quite sad as well, because I used to like In Excess.
Yeah, but he took lots. I think he took lots of D's, didn't he? I mean, you know. Yeah. It goes back to the earlier question. Do you have any sympathy for these filthy rich celebrities when it all goes pear shaped?
They're a bunch of tossers, aren't they?
Yeah. David Coleman kicked him out of America. We don't want Harry and Meghan in Cannes. They want a free ride, 24 hours of protection. Yeah, Mark Olive loved Amy Winehouse. I did as well. I still love Amy Winehouse. God bless her. So sad.
I like Bottle Baby's comment. Can't type tonight. That's why I rang you, Ed. I couldn't be bothered to type.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Anyway, this is Clive, by the way. McLaren F1 from the chat. Anyway, he's on the radio. He's on the phone now. If you can hear him. Let's see. Bobby Cuss. I liked Harry, but when he married that nasty bitch, he went off him. Be careful. She sues people for saying bad things about her. Bobby Cuss. Those two showed too much disrespect to our late Queen. I must admit, I know the Queen was very, very dignified. And yeah, you're quite right, Bobby. Yeah, you're quite right. Absolutely. Very, very disrespectful. Bottle Baby. Those who were arrested are targets, while the rest of us are just plain slobs. Money talks louder when you're more, yeah? Yours travels. I met Prince Harry in Las Vegas. The next day I read the news, Harry was running around the window cell naked. I must admit, I liked him when he was behaving like a bit of a lad. I kind of liked Harry. I really, really liked. Well, that's the kind of thing that Prince Andrew would have done in his day as well. Prince Andrew was a real lad, and Prince Andrew in his day was knocking off some lovely birds, Q Stark and people like that. How the hell he ended up with that bloody Fergie, I'll never ever know.
How do you use the F word then?
Did I? Oh, we'll
I heard it.
just slipped out. Hopefully you apparently you can't use that early on in the stream, but later you might just.
YouTuber asleep at the moment.
You might just get. Oh no, there's probably some bastard in a swivel chair, looking out for me. Bottle baby can't.
They're probably watching some David Strachan video, like going around the bars in Pattaya, I expect. So
I kind of like him. I kind of like his video, but they all tend to look the same after a while, don't they?
Yeah.
Yours travels. Yours travels. Michael Hutchins died happy. Probably because only D's Eddie's interested in a double D's. Okay, Mark Alec. Okay, so anyway, Mark Alec. Okay, so anyway, Clive. So when are you next planning on heading out to the Philippines? How was things with your Philippine missus?
No, it's good. It's just my leg at the moment. I mean, I'm expecting a skin graft in probably a few months.
Yeah.
I've got this a really annoying vac thing attached to my leg at the moment. Kind of cleaning up the wound.
Yeah.
And it's a good 5 inches by 8 inches of meat basically on my leg at the moment.
Yeah.
I can't feel it, but I want to go out there, next year, but it just depends on this at the end of the day. It's all going well. Still talking to it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, best of luck to them. Yeah, Bobby Cush says smashed a like. Smashed a like. I'm just gonna put another little old watch me call it on, and I'm gonna go and grab a little a quick drinky. Okay, I'm back anyway, and I've got a nice. I love this ginger beer. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so let's see. Eastern man. I remember the heroin epidemic in the 1980s, and Yaba meth is a huge problem in Thailand now. There's nothing cool about it. No, we don't want any of that. We don't. I mean, the thing is, I've never taken it. I'm very, very clean living. I'm so bloody clean living. I don't drink, smoke, take D's. I don't even gamble. I'm very, very amazingly clean living in my old age. I've left it a bit late. Yeah, Mark Alex says that music had me tripping. Ed. Okay, nice to hear from you. So anything. So have you got anything to talk about then, Clive? Any questions you'd like to ask?
Well, you could put me on the spot now. I'm out to speak then after my 4 cans of San Miguel. When are you going abroad?
To be honest with you, I haven't planned just yet. I'm looking at some European destinations, but I haven't really got the enthusiasm for it. I mean, last year I went to Romania, which I really, really enjoyed, and I liked Transylvania a lot. I really, really did like it. But I'm looking at other neighbouring countries, but they don't seem to be as good as that.
Croatia's nice.
Croatia, is it? We'll have to see about all of that. But because I've come off the beer now, it's a little bit awkward. You see, I'm not really sure at this moment in time if I would cope with being teetotal when I'm on holiday. And also, I want to see, first of all, before I go abroad again, I want to see, first of all, how long I'm going to stay off the booze. I mean, so.
How about somewhere like I don't know, Abu Dhabi or somewhere like that, where you can't drink?
Abu Dhabi. I don't really think those kind of places are for me somehow. Not really. No.
Yeah, but you can't. I don't think you can drink there, can you? Not in public.
Yeah.
You kind of think in hotel rooms and stuff, but
the thing is, Clive, if with travel being so expensive in this day and age, if you're going to go somewhere, I think you should feel really, really enthusiastic about it. And I don't really feel very, very enthusiastic about those kind of countries.
Yeah, but you want to stay off the booze.
Yeah.
It's maybe somewhere else where it's very, very restricted, or somewhere else where you can't actually get it.
Yeah.
You can't actually get booze.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, I mean, I'm not, yours travel says save your money for Southeast Asia. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I know, but you're just going to drink like a fish there, aren't you? Surely.
I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Really.
Inevitably, though, you go to somewhere like Pattaya in the end.
Yeah.
Pattaya.
Well, this is the problem, you see, because when you're in a place like that, I get up, I do a little bit on the internet, and then I get up, I have a walk around town, and then I start drinking at about 2:30 in the afternoon, something like that. And it's I mean, that's what a lot of guys do. I mean, they just drink every daytime.
It's difficult. I mean, the one thing I did 2.5 years ago, I gave up the C word.
Yeah.
The W word, and and like I haven't really thought about it, but like I'm still drinking, I'm still smoking, tobacco.
Yeah.
I know you've never smoked, but I'll tell you what, addiction is a real thing.
Oh, well, I mean, the only real addiction that I've had is to alcohol. That was an addiction, but it's over now anyway. And like you say, 2 months solid without any alcohol. I think I've done okay. I don't want to spoil them by going on a holiday next week and then finding that I'm going to start drinking. I want to see how long I can stay off the booze first of all.
Yeah, I mean, I gave up booze for 2 weeks because I was in hospital, so I didn't really have, and I didn't smoke for the whole 2 weeks as well.
Yeah. Now here's a question. Here's a question for you. Here's a question. Englishman in Malta. This is from Englishman in Malta. I found Filipino women so jealous. What does Clive think? Would you go along with that?
I've done 17 days with her. Annalita, her name is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't really in that situation. We didn't really go to bars, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I went to the place where she lived, with all the family, and all the introduction and all the rest of it. And I went there every single day.
Yeah.
That's where I got my flybites from.
Yeah.
It wasn't particularly a very nice neighbourhood. I mean, it was all nice and friendly and all the rest of it, but hygiene, they don't see hygiene as we see it. You know what I mean? They have a piss in the street or in the path, next to their home. They don't care at the end of the day with hygiene and stuff like that. I mean, they throw stuff in a river. All their sewage goes into a river.
Oh my God!
No, seriously, mate. Seriously, it's just honesty. I wasn't shocked, to be honest. I've seen all sorts of things, but that's definitely how that's definitely where the problem with my leg. Obviously, I had some dirty flies. Yeah. Some dirty, filthy flies. But no, I never went. I never went anywhere to see her. Whether she was, jealous or not, to be honest. I wouldn't mind betting though, probably, because they want no disrespect, but I don't know. It's still early days at the moment, but you're an asset to them at the end of the day. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're like a commodity. Even though I wouldn't think I was, but That's what I've learned on like other YouTube channels and stuff like that. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you think about it. It's like Thai birds. I mean, like it's a bit like I know it's very different, like, but you go into a bar, like and you go chatting to a prospective mate for the night or something like that, and. Like, they don't want the other ones coming near you because obviously
they
want the cat at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I have with my missus, but like I don't know. At the end of the day. I haven't been.
I think maybe Thai women have trained very, very well to stay away. If a girl is declared that you're their property, I think the others just stay away anyway. They won't really tread on other girls' toes. I think a lot of them are they're like that in Cambodia as well.
I've just seen Steve's comment. Clive, so you went and stayed in a slum? No, I stayed in a hotel. This is the other funny thing. I stayed in have you ever heard of Sogo?
Sogo
hotels in Philippines.
No, not exactly.
Do you know what they are? They're pretty much short-time hotels.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't know this. I booked 17 nights in a Sogo hotel on the Carino Highway, and bloody hell, where was it? I forgot where it was now. In Manila. Sorry, about to miss a drink now. I think it wasn't Bacardi. I can't think now. But I went down to have a cigarette at about 4 a.m. No joke, 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I walked into reception. It was absolutely ram-packed. I thought, what the bloody hell's this? I mean, like, they were literally, like, 40-year-old Filipino men with 20-year-olds. Like, you think, well, that's like either a father, a daughter-father thing, or like...
Yeah.
And then, like, there was another one. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And it turned out it's like a short-time hotel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Philippines. Obviously, I don't know the Philippines as well. I have been there a couple of times, and I will go there again. But I don't know the Philippines as well as I know Thailand or Cambodia. I don't know it that much. But I mean, it is a wonderful country. But I found that it wasn't as safe as.
It's a dirty country, mate.
Yeah.
They don't look after their country.
Yeah.
In a lot of places, I don't care what I saw. Basically, I went pretty much like I was pretty much I don't know in the central part of the older part of Manila, not the posh part, like. But I mean, it wasn't what was it? Novelicious or Novelicious, I think it's called.
Yeah, and funny enough, Manila. When I went to Manila, I didn't go on my first trip, but I did go the second trip, and I kind of like Manila. I like Manila a lot, and I'd like to see more of it.
It's a nice place, but they don't seem to look after the place, if you know what I mean. Yeah. It all seems quite dirty in a lot of parts of the city.
Yeah.
And it's like McDonald's. We went most days. We went because like there were no decent restaurants. I didn't do any sort of thorough kind of casing the place out before I booked it. I just booked it, and then there were no nice restaurants or anything like that. There were a few takeaways around and about.
Yeah.
But there was a McDonald's and a KFC over the road, and Jollibees. Jollibees were crap. They absolutely messed up the order pretty much every single time. They shut at 10 o'clock. McDonald's was 24 hours. No joke. The Grab drivers were literally weeing next to the restaurant. No, seriously. There was floor-to-ceiling glass, and you could actually watch the Grab moped riders pissing in the alleyway.
Oh, God almighty.
You're eating your McDonald's.
The thing is, Phnom Penh is like that. Okay, Phnom Penh, Cambodia. That's very, very much like that. I mean, when you walk at 172 Street to the nightlife of 51, I always used to call it Piss Alley because you always see tuk-tuk drivers having to pay up against the wall.
It's disgusting, isn't it? I journey, a long car journey, right? I don't even think to like stop off. I'm that polite. I'll just wait until you get to a service station, or like you just wait until you get home. You don't just piss next to the car, do you?
Well, but
you've done that,
yeah, but Bobby Cuss says my daft mate did the same first time in Thailand. He tried to book into a short-time room for 2 weeks. He said even the Thais were laughing at him. Okay, fair enough.
Hang on, Thai to Thai. This caller's not selling the Philippines. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
It's just, I find that the difference between the Philippines and Thailand.
Yeah.
Thailand, I find, is cleaner.
Yeah, I mean it's also easier and more relaxing. I find Thailand. I mean, I think you kind of fall into Thailand a bit more. Whereas with the Philippines, maybe because I don't know it as well, and also with the Philippines, it's a more complicated form of travel because you're not just dealing with roads, you're dealing with islands mainly. So, you're often getting planes. I mean, I can travel all around by public transport in Thailand. But when it comes to the Philippines, you're getting an awful lot of internal flights.
Wanderer 299A.
Yeah.
Spent too much time in Manila. Well, it was my first time there, and I was going to meet the missus.
Yeah.
And that was the only place I was going to go to. That was the only place I was focusing on at the end of the day. So
yeah,
I mean, there's 7,000 odd islands.
Yeah.
Like Thailand, isn't it?
I think it is a place. I mean, I've been there twice. I will go again there sometime. Let's see. Yeah, Bobby Cross said, I had a fist fight with my mate in Manila over an ice cream. He called it the vanilla in Manila. Okay, very, very good. David Coleman says, the food in the Philippines is damn terrible. Not fit for animals.
Yeah, it is.
It's not really an exotic cuisine, is it?
Nothing looks particularly nice, to be honest, apart from McDonald's, KFC, and
Yeah. I don't recall having too many nice meals there. I think chicken is always on the menu there, isn't it, in the Philippines?
Yeah, pork as well. They like their pork.
Yeah. Yeah. Englishman in Malta says, maybe I'm a bit different. She was going through all my comments at the time and flipping a subscriber called me love. Oh, he's having an affair with one of his subscribers.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about Englishman in Malta there. Okay. Mark Oleg is eating right now. You do know I'm eating right. I think hopefully we're not putting you off your food anyway. Anyway, we've been on for an hour and 48 minutes now. Anyway, I'll just nip through the chat anyway. Mark Oleg, Eddie must not have heard of the Ali Fraser fight. Of course I've heard of the Thriller in Manila. Of course it was a classic. That was Ali's phrase, wasn't it? The Thriller in Manila, classic. In fact, I think I might have even watched that when it was on TV all those years ago. Englishman in Malta. My first girlfriend in Manila. Her family lived in a cemetery. Oh well, yeah. Well, they called it the garbage dump of Southeast Asia at one time, didn't they? Are you still there? Oh, that's. I think we've lost Clive. I think we've lost him. What's happened there? I think that's cut off there. I think it's cut off. Let's see. I think we'll. Anyway, well, thanks to Clive for coming on anyway. That's really, really good. Okay. Jock Martins, who goes to Manila for the food? Yeah, Mark, well, you skipped my comment on it. Oh, did I? Sorry about that, Mark. Sorry about Mark. I'm trying to keep up with all the chat. I'm going to wrap this up anyway. Andrew Hammond. I'll put this comment on the screen. Vlogging a dead horse. Absolutely hated the Philippines. I think when he first arrived there, because I did actually see that. And he said he didn't like it. He wasn't impressed. I did actually see that. I think Cebu is I went to Cebu many years ago, and I didn't feel very, very easy. I wasn't impressed with that place at all. But there are better places in the Philippines than there. McLaren. Anyway, Clive is here, and anyway, thanks for coming on. Anyway, Clive. Anyway, it was much appreciated. Anyway, it's nice to have calls, and hopefully everybody in. And Clive contributed a lot, so big round of applause for Clive coming on there. Anyway, Cheers, mate. Mark Allen, quiet neighborhood cemeteries. Yeah, well, in the Philippines, I mean, it's sad. I mean, you know, when people well, you get it anyway. You get people sleeping on the streets anywhere, but in the Philippines, it's particularly sad, really. Yours travels. I travel the way for food, drink, and women. Absolutely, good for you, mate. Anyway, Peter Barb. Enjoy your show, Eddie. Don't go to Australia. It's far too expensive, and teen crime is out of control. Well, that's the first I've heard of that one. I've heard the other one. It's expensive, but as for teen crime, out of control. Wait a minute. Did I see a report on that? I think I did actually see a report on that somewhere. Very, very strange. Oh my God, that's a couple of reasons not to go to. Well, keep away from teenagers, really. Yeah, McLaren, you're a legend, mate. Cheers, anyway. Bottle Baby. The Philippines is the Mexico of Asia. I've heard that it's the Mexico of Southeast Asia. Someone else said that before. Yeah, yours travel says Clive. Well done, buddy. Yeah, absolutely. Clive, that was a good call. That was, and it proves that we can have a phone. And I'll put the number out there next time, and hopefully more people will tune in. Will phone in. Mark Allen, just bring a large Dundee knife. Absolutely. I think I did see a report on that somewhere though about teen crime being a little bit out of control in Australia. Yeah, Bobby Crush. Bobby Crush, there's a big queue waiting list. Okay, fair enough. Bobby Crush. Yes, Philippines was Spanish in the 19th century. And I tell you what I did notice about some Philippine women, some of them you can see that, Spanish blood in them. So some of them have a very, very exotic look. Lovely stuff. Bobby Crush, it's nice to throw in a few old classics, man. I think it's old. It's not exactly a classic. I think old. Yeah, Thailand found us saying good night all. Anyway, and I'm going to say good night as well. I'm going to say good night as well. We had a nice little chat. We've been on for an hour and 53 minutes. Okay, we've talked about a few things. I'm still trying to get the right little formula for these live shows, but we're getting there. We are getting there. We are getting there. It's nice of Clive to phone in, and hopefully a couple of others will phone in. I'll put the number out there next time. But we've chatted about a few little things. The consensus is that Philip, dirty old man bastard, and his young boyfriend, it's not a healthy thing. And as for I'll show my favorite pick of the night anyway. I'm going to show it again. It's such a lovely pick. I love that pick of Amy Winehouse. God bless Amy Winehouse. 27 years of age, so talented. You felt that she had so much more to offer in the world. So R.I.P. Amy. I don't really feel a great deal of sympathy for a lot of the others, but Amy, I think she was led of the garden path. I mean, she got in with the wrong people, and at 27 years of age, lovely, talented Amy, bit the dust. So God bless Amy anyway. God bless Amy. I'm going to put more comments. God bless Amy. We love Amy Winehouse and we miss her. She had so much. I still listen to her songs now. She had so much more to offer the world. So anyway, I'm going to say good night now anyway. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight. Have a great weekend, everybody. Eat, drink, be merry, unless of course you teetotal, and then do two out of three. So I'll say good night, guys. I'll be back at Monday evening at 9 o'clock. Have a lovely weekend, everybody, and I'll see you at 9 o'clock on Monday. Okay. Cheers, guys. All the best. Thank you.